Hey guys, so this is going to be part 2 to how to reduce lag on Roblox, okay? In the first video, I showed you guys a bunch of different things, but I want to go ahead and go into depth with a little bit more about this program called CCleaner. I did post a link at the end of the first video, but I'm sure a lot of people didn't use it because they're just like, oh, it's an image and a link and I don't know how to use it. I have to download it, right? So I'm going to demonstrate how to use this program, but before that, there was a bit of confusion on how to do the other stuff on that first video, so I'm going to go ahead and address that right now. Okay, so the first thing is system properties. Okay, a lot of people are having problems with the performance display in the images of the font. Sometimes it makes it distorted. So what I want you to do is go ahead and check smooth edges of screen fonts, and if you don't know how to open up the system property, go back to my first video and learn how to do that first. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Just check that and it should smooth out the edges, and if there's anything else you want to change, you go ahead and do it, but this is going to make your font look beautiful. Okay, all right, so the next thing I want you to do is go into control panel, system security, and then power options. A lot of people can't create a additional power plan because they don't see it on the option, right? So what you want to do is click create a power plan, and then you're going to say I want high performance, or your might look a little different. Just name it whatever you want, like that, right? So next, then you want to do whatever you want right there, and then you create it, and then it should be here, and then you'll be able to use it. Okay, so that's the two things that I wanted to address. Now let's get to the real juicy part. This is what is important. Okay, so go ahead and download this. What this does is it cleans out your computer. It cleans out your browsing history and stuff like that, but not always. Okay, so you can actually adjust that. All right, so let's go ahead and download the free version, guys. Save right here, save file. All right, now you can click customize, and then you can select what you want to have installed, and it doesn't really matter, just install it. So it's installing, and then when it's done, just click run CCleaner, and then this is gonna pop up. And at the top right here, you're gonna see your processor, and you're gonna see your RAM, and you're gonna see your GPU and everything. So go ahead and look these up if you don't know what they are, and you can determine whether your computer needs to be upgraded, meaning you have to buy a new computer, so for better performance. Okay, the next thing is you can actually use easy clean right here, but this is the important part. I would recommend doing custom clean. That way you can actually find out whether you want to delete certain things or not. So I have Firefox and I have Google Chrome, and you can delete the history, the cookies, internet history, but what you can if you want to. But if you don't, then uncheck it and then run it. Okay, so let's go ahead and first analyze, and once it analyzes, it's going to want to close your browser, and you're going to have to close it. Okay, so go ahead and close it. And then once it closes, it should show up all these different things that it wants to remove, and if you're willing to agree, go ahead and press cleaner at the right edge right here, and then hit continue. Now when you do this, if you have passwords or something and you don't know the password to a certain account, don't just delete your everything. Okay, don't just delete everything. Most of the time they probably save it, but there's often times where they remove those passwords too, so just be careful. And then the next thing you want to do is click registry, and then this is going to fix any issues that you have with your registry. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff here, and just hit run, and then once it's done, click fix selected issues, and then you can't make a backup. I say no because I don't really care, and then just fix that issue, and then click close. All right, so the next thing I want you to click is tools, and this is going to be a couple of different things. All right, so first, we know that there's a lot of stuff that's installed on your computer. Sometimes when you buy a computer, there's new things that are added, and sometimes you don't need it. Okay, so what I recommend to you guys is click on the size button right here. Okay, click on that size button, and then it's going to load up a bunch of stuff here that maybe you need, maybe you don't need. Okay, so let's say I don't need iTunes because I don't use iPhone anymore. Okay, so I'm going to uninstall this product. Same thing with going to downloads. Make sure you delete old files. Go through your documents, go through your if you want to look up a video, just type in .mp4 or .avi or .flv, different things like that are in video formats and see if you actually need that video or not. If you don't need it, delete it, because it's taking up space, and your computer has to kind of like load everything up. So if you want it faster, then get rid of it, and then now it doesn't need to load it up, right? And then next thing I want to show you guys is startup. Okay, so when you go start up a computer, there's a bunch of things that just pops up, and sometimes it's already like pre-selected for you, because you know, once you install a program, they're like, hey, I want you to turn on my stuff, but you don't need to do that. So what you want to do is go through this list and see what you need and what you don't need. So if you notice right here, I have a bunch of stuff disabled right here. So like sandboxy, you can enable it or disable it. I recommend disable it, and so whenever you do want to use it, go ahead and actually run the application, and then it'll pop up, right? Same thing with this. So right click to disable or delete. Okay. And I think there's one last thing, like the software updater. Okay, so sometimes you have programs that need to be updated, and then you're like, okay, well, maybe I want to update this, or I want to update that, or I want to update that. So go ahead and do that if you want. I recommend, if you don't use these programs so much, don't update it. There's no reason to. Okay, and so that is it for CCleaner, guys, and that is it for this video. Okay, if you do these couple of things, I promise you, you're going to see an improvement in your speed. If you don't notice a speed, then your computer is already like really, really bad, or your computer is really, really, really good, in which in case you don't even need to do a lot of these things, but it is very beneficial. So thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully this was helpful. Bye.